Alan, Andy, good morning. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting to the Arsenal tonight. I'll see you there, Andy.
Yes,
I've,
looking
I've
forward
just
to
got
it,
you
pal.
on the Zoom. You've got your Bayern Munich top on and your scarf. Right out of order. Bang out of order.
I'm full of Peterborough United gear after winning at Wembley on Sunday,
Oh,
but
how good was that, Aid?
mate, it was just sensational. That late goal to win it was out of this world. It was. It's. I've watched it so many times back since, and I'm in a right good football mood. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk Champions League, can we? Instead of, what was it? Hey, Bristol Street Motors Cup.
That works for me.
How do you see it tonight?
Tonight, I can only see Arsenal winning. I mean, I've seen a lot of Arsenal recently, and here's the thing: in the Premier League, they are top. Thomas Tuchel said they're dominating the toughest league in the world. He's absolutely spot on with that, and they have won more games than City and Liverpool. They've scored more goals than City and Liverpool. They've conceded fewer goals than City and Liverpool. They're playing better football than City and Liverpool right now. They're getting fewer injuries than City and Liverpool as well. So I can only see them winning the Premier League. And I think that momentum keeps going into the Champions League. And as you've been talking about in the first hour of the show, this is not the classic Bayern Munich that did them 10-2 on aggregate, 7 years ago. Kane can score goals, fine. They'll have trouble keeping him quiet, but they concede at the other end. They've got big problems, Bayern Munich, 16 points behind Bayer Leverkusen, having lost 6 in the Bundesliga this season. I can only see Arsenal winning both legs and going through comfortably.
Yeah. Aid, and again, I would concur with pretty much everything you've said there. The only caveat I've got, Aid, is that you and I have witnessed some unbelievable nights in the Champions League. Those nights when we went to Madrid, when they played Chelsea that season and they played City. And I know that's Madrid. I know it's very different. But at this level, one little slip up, one lapse in concentration, you take your eye off it for a split second, you can get done in these sort of matches, can't you?
Yeah, you can, and I think we saw that in Porto in the round of 16. And my feeling is that because they conceded that late goal away, made life tough for themselves at home. It went to penalties in the end.
Did.
But I think if Mikel Arteta is this elite manager that we're all thinking that he is, or he's going to become, then they will have learned so much from that, and he will have drilled that into them between that round of 16 game and now, so that they don't make those same mistakes again, because they did take their eye off the ball. They didn't play particularly well, didn't even have a shot on target in Portugal, but that's not Arsenal. So I think that he will get the best out of them for this quarterfinal tie. I think when you mentioned before about the fans as well not being there, it's a big thing, especially in Europe, because the away fans at the Emirates in that corner make a hell of a lot of noise. They've got a big presence. And sometimes, even now, even in this season, Arsenal fans can go a little bit quiet, can go a little bit cold, even if they're winning. So let's say against Luton last week, the game wasn't particularly thrilling. Arsenal weren't in top form. The crowd were really quiet. It's at those moments in Europe that the away fans take over, and that might undermine the confidence of the Arsenal players. Won't be happening tonight.
What do you make of the other game then, Manchester City, Bernabeu?
Well, I mean, Manchester City against Real Madrid last season that's one of the best performances I think I've ever seen in the home leg.
Yeah.
And they got the tie sorted out. Manchester City, I've said this for a long time, they're not that side anymore. And without Walker as well tonight, I think it's a big miss for them. I just don't see Manchester City winning the Champions League this season. I think they'll struggle to get through this tie because Real Madrid were a good side anyway. Then they added Bellingham. So I've got a feeling that Real Madrid will cause Manchester City a huge amount of problems tonight. I think the first leg result is absolutely vital for Manchester City this evening. They need to take something back to the Etihad to give them some hope of getting through. But I can see them conceding tonight, definitely.
Yeah, I must admit, I go the other way. I think City win this.
Right.
I'm not saying they'll win in Madrid, but they'll beat them in Manchester. I'm pretty certain of it. I think City, they're just clicking at the right time again. I can see them going unbeaten, to be honest.
They gave up
away.
chances to Crystal Palace, didn't they?
They did, yeah, they did. But the way they controlled the game as well. I just feel, with look, Foden's on the bench, De Bruyne scores a cracker. They've just got so much ammo. Rodri, people like that. The ammunition they've got is just sensational.
That stadium in the Bernabeu, Aid, anything can happen in there, can't it? I mean, miracles literally seemingly do happen in there. Andy,
we were there when Manchester City were virtually through.
They were through, didn't they? And they conceded a couple in a minute, didn't they? Do you remember that night? It was astonishing, that.
Yeah.
And I think what you said, Andy, as well about this stage of the Champions League, yes, it's 2 legs, but it is still knockout. And in a moment, in a flash,
Yeah.
things can change. And that changes not just the momentum, but the confidence of players, the attitude of players. It can shatter players. It can shatter a team when out of nowhere a goal appears. And that's what happened to City that night. So they've got to get the job done. I think they've got to do a job in Madrid to give them some big hope going back to the Etihad.
Adrian, just give us a little bit on Everton, 2 points deduction, right? But, I wasn't expecting that.
No, I mean, it's been a shambles, really, isn't it? And I was looking back at the City one. The City still don't know their fate. And we're none the wiser. And that investigation against City started in 2018. The charges were brought in February last year, and we still don't know. And I know there's 115 charges, but sort it out. As for Everton, what I'm thinking is this is a great opportunity for those teams that came up to stay up, because you've got Forest deducted points, Everton deducted points, and yet it's the three that came up that are the bottom three. So I think they might look back on this season, if all three go down, and say, what a fantastic opportunity we missed.
Yeah.
As for Everton, I feel for them a bit, because they've obviously broken rules. I'd question those rules in the first place. I think they need examining again, just to see if they are really fair. Because when you've got a team that is a club that's about to bring you an elite stadium to the Premier League, and they're being done for spending too much money, that doesn't feel right to me. They're about to add something special to the Premier League, and yet they're being docked points. Doesn't feel quite right to me. So they need to re-examine the rules.
Adrian, enjoy tonight.
See
talkSPORT brings you live commentary on both games, don't forget.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Alan Brazil. Thursday and Friday morning, 6 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.